Hello everyone. Today your class number 40 for EMFT. Okay. So today is class number 40 for EMFT. Okay. And today is the last class of this module. So today's topic will be power flow and Poynting vector. Okay. Power flow and Poynting vector. Poynting, Poynting vector. Okay, so right, the Poynting vector is defined as the cross product of electric field intensity E, to the magnetic field intensity H. That means the power Poynting vector is defined as the P equals to electric field intensity E crossed with magnetic field intensity H. Okay, so this is a cross product of these two vectors. E cross H will produces your Poynting vector. Okay, so next write the vector product. Write the vector product E cross H, E vector cross H vector at any point is a measure of the rate of average energy flow per unit area. The average energy flow per unit area at that point. That means if we want to calculate, suppose this is a system where in E and H both systems are separately acting. Suppose this is E field and this is H field. Okay, so over this region there is a combination of E and H, right? So if we are taking a point P over here, so at this point P, if we want to calculate the power flow, actual what is the amount of energy which is flow, or in case of power, in terms of power can be flow which is flowing through this point, can be calculated by using this cross product or the vector product of E and H. Okay. Then write the direction of the power flow is in the direction of the unit vector. The direction of this P, that means the direction of this P. So if we segregate it, the direction of this P will be equals to the perpendicular direction at that point, that is AR cap. Okay, the perpendicular distance, or AN cap. We have to write AN cap or PN cap. Why? Because we are taking the P point here. So P subscript n cap. Okay, so PN cap means the perpendicular from the point. Okay, so perpendicular is in the direction of the unit vector, which is perpendicular at the point of E and H both. That means whatever the direction of E and H at that point P, you have to find a direction which is a perpendicular on both E and H, and at this particular direction your Poynting vector will be acting. Okay, so P vector equals to E H sin theta PN cap. Okay, so this is your Poynting vector. So now write P vector is called Poynting vector. Here P vector is called the Poynting vector. Okay, and the above statement is treated as the Poynting theorem, and the above statement is treated as the Poynting theorem. Okay, so now you have to take this P equals to E cross H and apply the divergence of this P vector on this P vector. Then it represents divergence of E cross H. Okay, so what is the divergence formula? So divergence is nothing but, suppose we know, that means curl of E equals to what? Beside this proof we have to remember that curl of H equals to del B del T for your time varying field system, and curl of H equals to what? Curl of H equals to JC plus jd by jd, that means del d del t. Okay, so this one, if we segregate it, then it will represents h curl of e, h dot curl of e minus e dot curl of h. Okay, so this is one of the vector identity or one of the property of the divergence. Okay, so if any cross product of any vector quantity will be on which the divergence nabla operator is acting, then you can say that the curl of e and curl of h separately you have to perform and dot product with the respective h and d. Okay, so then, so we know the curl of e equals to this one, so your result will be h vector negative sign of del b del t minus, so curl of e equals to curl of h equals to this one, so that will be negative of jc plus jd by dt, del t by del t into your e vector, right? My negative sign of e vector. Okay, so this one is equals to divergence of p. Okay, now you have to take something, you have to solve it, right? So that's after, so next line, taking negative sign over here, divergence of p equals to h vector del b vector by del t plus e vector of del d vector by del t. Okay, so that means we are taking this one and this one simultaneously, and the rest one, that is e vector of jc vector, e vector dot jc vector will be another term. Okay, so now write, taking the volume integration from both sides, taking the volume integration from the both side, we have divergence of p, that will be equals to volume integration of e dot jc dv, or over the volume dv. Okay, added with triple integration of e into del d del t plus h vector into del b del t over the same volume dv. Okay, so next write, now apply the Gauss's theorem, right? Apply the Gauss's theorem, Gauss's divergence theorem at the left hand side of the above equation. Apply the Gauss's divergence theorem at the left hand side of the above equation. Then what will be the final expression? So the volume integration will be converted into your closed surface integration, which will be equals to, and this is your triple integration of e dot jc dv plus triple integration of this one, that is rest one. Okay, so this one, okay, so next this expression, right, the above expression, so this above expression of taking this negative sign over here first. Okay, taking this negative sign over here, right, the above expression is known as the integral form of the pointing theorem. The above expression is known as the integral form of the pointing theorem. Okay, so what will be the expression of e dot jc dv? So if we take it here, then it will be converted into right hand side, so that will be equals to your minus del t, taking outside as a common from this term. Okay, del t from this term, with del t, if del t term is taking outside, then it will become triple integration of so what will be your expression? E dot d plus h dot b over this v dv. Okay, so and the remaining term will be negative sign of so it will be positive, right? So it will coming to up to here and it will be negative. Okay, so negative term will be here, so double integration of p dot ds of dv. Okay, so actually it is ds. Okay, p dot ds. Okay, so what is your p? So p can be replaced by E cross H, right? E cross H over the same, because P vector equals to E vector cross H vector. Okay, so that means triple integration of, and final expression, I am writing the final expression from the pointing theorem here, that is triple integration of E dot JC vector dv equals to minus del t of triple integration of, see, this is your E dot d, and E dot d will be half of epsilon naught E square, because if we place the value, and it will be half of epsilon naught into E square, okay, and plus half of mu naught into B square, mu naught into, sorry, H square, okay. So over the volume integration, and plus sorry, it will be negative surface integration, closed surface integration of E cross H over the surface ds, over the surface ds, okay. So now write the physical integration of this. So ohmic dissipation, this is called ohmic dissipation, okay. The left hand side is called ohmic dissipation, will be equals to rate of, this is the rate of decrease. Why it is rate of decrease? Because negative sign over here. Rate of decrease in energy stored, in energy stored in the electric and magnetic field, in the electric and magnetic field. See, this is the energy dissipation for electric field, this is the energy dissipation for magnetic field, and for this negative sign we are taking, writing in decreasing, okay. And next one, minus total power leaving from the volume, total power leaving from the volume, okay, which is around the observation point, which is around the observation point. So we are taking a point P. Around this point P, we can consider a small volume, and within this volume, the total energy leaving from this volume will be written in the form of this one. Okay. So curl of E, E cross H over the surface ds. Okay. So this is all for your power flow equation and Poynting vector. Okay. So next topic will be some important concepts regarding first write the intrinsic impedance. What is intrinsic impedance? The next topic, few terms you have to remember. Intrinsic impedance. What is intrinsic impedance? Right, the ratio of E vector and the H vector are represented by intrinsic impedance. The ratio of E vector by H vector is represented by the intrinsic impedance. Okay, or the characteristic impedance or the characteristics impedance of non-conducting medium. The characteristics impedance for a non-conducting medium. Okay, so this is the intrinsic impedance ratio, or you can also write it will be for ratio root over of mu naught by epsilon naught. Okay, so for any air medium, if we want to calculate the air for intrinsic impedance for air medium, then you can also put the value, but it is a non-conducting medium, but air is a non-conducting medium, so that intrinsic ratio for air will be 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 by 8.85 into 10 to the minus 12, right? So if you calculate, then you can calculate the intrinsic impedance for air. Okay. Okay, so next, this is a small definition and very easy definition for the intrinsic impedance. And next topic is your group velocity, phase velocity first. Phase velocity. Okay, what is phase velocity? Right, the phase velocity of a wave is the rate at which the phase velocity of a wave is the rate at which the phase of wave propagates in space. The rate at which the phase of wave propagates in space. That means at which velocity the wave will propagate through any space. Okay, this is the speed at which, right? This is the speed at which the phase of any one frequency component of the wave travels through the medium. Okay, that means phase velocity is nothing but it is associated with a only one frequency. Okay, that means if a wave consists of a huge number of frequency, suppose it is a frequency 50, it may consist of frequency 55, frequency 60 hertz. Okay, this type of frequency may be accommodated by a wave, but for phase velocity it is nothing but a unique velocity for a particular frequency component of any wave. Okay, suppose so a wave can be expressed by this way. Okay, see, there are a huge number of frequency. So this is a wave, this is a component of wave, this is a component of wave, this is another component of wave, this is another component of wave. Okay, and each of every wave has a unique velocity. Okay, so this velocity is called the phase velocity. Okay, the formula of this phase velocity, Vp equals to omega by beta. Beta is your phase constant. Okay, 1 by root over of mu m into epsilon m. So mu means what? Mu means the permeability of any medium. Epsilon means permeability of permittivity of that medium. Okay, so phase velocity is nothing but the unique velocity for any particular component of any frequency component of any wave. Okay, so next write the group velocity. What is the group velocity? Next is your group velocity. Right, the velocity with which the overall shape of the wave, that means the shape of this wave will be okay. So shape of this wave, see, if we ignore this one, then the shape of this wave will be this red colored. Okay, so the overall shape of the wave amplitude known as the modulation. So shape of the wave amplitude of the wave modulation will propagate through any particular medium. So that means the overall wave, how the overall wave will propagate and with which velocity. Okay, the overall wave velocity of a containing a huge number of frequency components is called the group velocity. Okay, the group velocity formula Vg equals to dw by dv. Okay, so you have to derive the energy. You have to derive the energy, whole energy of this wave by the magnetic field density. Okay, so this is your wave velocity, a group velocity. So the next topic will be skin depth, and it is the last topic for this chapter. Skin depth. Okay, right. It is defined as the depth in which the magnitude of the wave is attenuated. The magnitude of the wave is attenuated 37% of its original value. That means it is defined as the depth in which the magnitude of the wave is attenuated 37% of its original value for a good conductor, and the depth of penetration will be sigma equals to 1 by alpha, that is attenuation constant. Root over of formula will be 1 by 2 by omega mu sigma. Okay, omega mu sigma. This will be your wave equation. Skin depth. So skin depth is nothing but you have to penetrate. So suppose we are taking a wave. Okay, we have to take a wave which travels through any particular medium. Suppose this is an wave. This is a wave which travels through a particular medium. Okay, so when this wave is falling to any particular surface of two medium 1 and medium 2, and if it is penetrated up to this much, and at this point if the energy of it becomes 37% of its original value, and it is attenuated 37% of original value, then that means this amount is loss of this amount is 37%. Okay, so at this point, and the depth is called the skin depth for this medium, for this frequency of a wave. Okay, so frequency of a wave for the certain frequency of a wave and for a certain medium, your skin depth will be calculated. Okay, so skin depth is the last topic of this module, and so today the class number 40 is completed. So after class 40 classes, we able to complete your first module, that is vector analysis, your second module, that is coordinate system, your third module, that is electrostatics, your fourth module, that is magnetostatics, your fifth module, that is time varying field, and your sixth module, that is wave propagation and wave electromagnetic waves. Okay, and your last topic will remains also, and that is your seventh module, which is your module number 7, that is transmission line. Okay, so from the next day I will start the transmission line. So today's class up to this much. Thank you for watching.